Let's go. Okay, greetings to those who are first-time viewers. Let me rather start with those who've been loyal viewers. I mean, we have about 37 subscribers. To be honest, I'm really grateful for that, 100%. So thank you to those who have been viewing and subscribing. And thank you for those now who are currently new and subscribing. Today, I'll be providing information on the company named Visual International Holdings. But before I get into that, let me just provide some education on why shares go up and why shares go down. Okay, think about an auction. In an auction, there's an offer price firstly before the auction begins. Let's say the auctioners are auctioning the Mercedes-Benz, a vintage Mercedes-Benz. So let's say the offer price is 10,000 rand. So the price on the floor, the price that the auctioners are offering the Mercedes-Benz, 10,000 rand. I'm just making an example. So now then we as bidders came there. Obviously we wanted a vintage car, that's why there's an auction. So what will happen is we will be offering our own prices, or we'll be bidding. I think that's the important word, bidding. We're bidding. So I'm gonna say 50,000 rands, and then you say, nah, 100,000 rand, and then your uncle says, nah, 1 million rands, and then no one else wants to go above 1 million rands, and then the auctioners are gonna say sold. It's the same as with shares. I mean, you can say with offer and bid price, sometimes they differ. That is because some other investors want to bid this share at a certain price, and some others are wanting to bid that share at a certain price. And also, obviously, there's a market price, which is the share is currently trading at. So if there are more buyers and they are offering high bid prices, then the share price is going to go up. So for instance, let's say Capitec is selling about 30,000 rand. And then let's say now this huge big company, let's say Old Mutual, for example, wants to buy Capitec shares. So they're offering, they will buying, let's say 1 million Capitec shares. And someone else might say, no, I'm going to buy 20 million Capitec shares. And someone else might say, no, I'm going to buy 100 million Capitec shares. Obviously, the share price of Capitec will go up because of the huge numbers of of buyers, I beg your pardon. Okay, I think that makes sense. So this Visual International Holdings company is a real estate company. They buy, sell, and lease property. I mean, it's really not looking good in terms of the fundamentals. In other words, in terms of the financial statements, not really impressive. I mean, even the share price tells the story. You know, how much is it selling at? It's selling at about 0.04. In other words, 4 cents. But for instance, if you had invested in that company the day before yesterday, this video is on the 1st of October. So on the 29th, on the 30th, we've gotten 100% in terms of increase, because it had increased like more than 2 times, I think. But now today it went down. It's at 16% negative. So why am I showing this company? Okay, number one, you see, if you're using EasyEquities has this thrive sign. You see, it's like a beautiful rocket, or what we call crickets, like a balloon, something there, indicating a thrive stock. So on EasyEquities, it's a thrive stock. And even before I saw it on EasyEquities, there was an announcement that they made. Even it was published on Sense, that this company is going to be bought by another company named Zero Industries for 60 million rands. But the offer is non-binding. In other words, the company is not, which Zero is not really obligated to buy the company. They have just shown interest in terms of buying that company. And obviously the share price went up because some investors realized that this company might be bought. And if it's bought, you're going to benefit on the upside, because the share price is going to increase if the company does buy it. So they've just expressed an offer for now, but if it goes through, they're going to buy about 36% of the company, which is a minority holding. And as I've said, in this show, I provide heads up that this might be happening. I'm not going to say what's the probability of it happening or not, but because they've shown interest, it might be likely. So the requirements are that the company should, the transaction should pass regulatory approvals, and also the company which is planning to purchase it, which is a RO, should be able to ensure that the funds are available. And this is going to be completed, or the results of all these regulations will be announced by early November, because they said within 40 days. 40 days. So by early November or even late November. So yeah, it's really cheap, really cheap company. But obviously there has some really, it was an announcement at JSE that there are companies that haven't yet filed their financial statements, and these companies might be already kicked out from the JSE. But they were able to fix that quickly, and then now they're still remaining at JSE. And also, as I've said, the EPS is at a negative. The share price tells the story of this company, but the profits, they're not making profit currently. And even with their trading statement that they released just now, they're not making profit there. But this company has expressed interest in buying that company. I'm not going to say why, but you can tell for yourself. Okay, this was a long one. I was hoping to keep it at 5, but just heads up on that one. We can even check it on EasyEquities. It has a thrive. Let's go.